Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for another Newegg build video. I'm glad to have you here, but I'm also very glad to have our special guest. This is Jimmy from SanDisk, everybody.
Hello.
Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So tell us, you have a new product coming out, and we're going to build a PC that shows off this incredible new product. What is it?
So we have the new WD Black SN8100 NVMe SSD, and the big thing about this drive is it is our PCIe Gen 5. I know a lot of people have been asking, hey, when is WD Black going to have a Gen 5 drive? Well, here it is.
It's here. We're going to talk all about it, and we're going to build a system specifically to show off everything that this little device is capable of. And then later, we're going to give that PC away to one lucky viewer. So stick around so you can find out how. And without further ado, let's get building.
Yeah.
So for the motherboard for this build, we're going with the Asus TUF X870 Plus Wi-Fi MOBO. Asus is a great brand, and the TUF series is nice and stylish, but also really rugged, really durable, built for performance.
All right.
Yours was more satisfying. And of course, we're going with the AMD Ryzen 9800X3D CPU, still considered the best gaming CPU on the market. That's rad.
Yeah.
Do you have a gaming PC at home?
I do, but I need to build a new one.
Oh,
So-
okay. Maybe you could win this. I don't think you're eligible. Go ahead and pop that up if you want to do the honors of dropping it in. Oh, beautifully done.
So easy.
I'm like mad. Every time I do it, I have to be like, okay, let's go again. Okay, let's go again. Well, all right. I'll close, Doctor. For our RAM, we're going with Trident Z5 Neo RGB. There.
Let's click.
Now that we got the preamble out of the way, tell us about the 5th gen WD Black SSD, the SN8100.
This is our first PCIe Gen 5 drive. It is going to be the fastest thing in the market. So we're going to be able to get up to 14,900 megabytes per second.
Whoa!
Yeah, a lot of speed.
Yeah, that's fast.
Not only that, but we're going to be able to also get over 2 million IOPS of random performance. I think most drives in the market are getting close to 2 million, but we're at 2.4 million.
So you're leading the pack.
Yes,
You're the one the blue shell is coming for.
I think so.
Yeah, and this will be out today, May 13th. Just getting the M.2 shield.
So you want to make sure you put it in the one closest to the CPU, because that's where you'll get the most performance.
Riveting television. Because I'm an expert. And there we go.
Cool.
Now, we've got the motherboard set up. We've got our 5th gen SSD in place behind the TUF Gaming M.2 heatsink. Moving on, we are going to be using a Fractal North XL PC case and this beautiful Be Quiet Dark Power 13 1000 watt PSU. For those who may not be as familiar, could you kind of just give us a breakdown of what is so exciting about PCIe Gen 5, especially as it pertains to SSDs?
For most of you, especially if you built a PC right when COVID hit, your SSD is likely a PCIe Gen 4. So Gen 4 maxes out around 8,000 megabytes per second or 8 gigabytes per second. Now, when you go from Gen 4 to Gen 5, it doubles. So now, the theoretical limit of Gen 5 is 16,000 megabytes per second. With the SN8100, right, our last product, SN850X, went 7,300 megabytes per second. Now 8100 goes 14,900, so we doubled in speed. You'll really start to see this with opening a game. You now have double the speed that you had before. You're gonna see a lot of that performance out of a Gen 5 drive that you wouldn't have had before.
Okay. It seems like now is the smart time to just be like, you know what? My system's dated. If it is still performing, it won't be performing at top level for very long.
Yeah.
Let's just take the jump.
100%.
Newegg.com for all your PC component needs. We're ready to drop the motherboard into the case. Can you tell me a little bit what's been holding Gen 5 back, especially as it pertains to SSDs?
So first, we had to wait for the CPU to catch up, right? And
Yeah.
we've had those for a couple years now with the newer AMD and Intel models. Now we also have GPUs that can use Gen 5, but when it comes to the SSD, it comes down to power and the thermals of the drive. So the first Gen 5 SSDs that have been in the market for a couple years, they get great performance, but they draw a lot of power, over 10 watts of power. With something that takes that much power, obviously a lot of power means you're gonna generate a lot of heat. And then more heat means that the SSD can only do so much before it overheats, even with, a heat shield or something like that. What we're excited with the SN8100 is that we're running 7 watts of power or less to get that 14,900.
So that's like a 30% drop.
Exactly. So with less power, we've done testing and it's like, okay, well, are there certain situations where it will overheat? And we haven't been able to do that.
That's incredible,
Yeah.
those types of numbers.
Yeah, and I think what's even better is that the same amount of power, but double the performance. So that's over 100% more power efficient.
All right, our motherboard is seated. Now we're going to install the CPU cooler, which for this build, we have the Corsair iQ-Link Titan 240 RX RGB all-in-one CPU cooler. Oh, another cool thing that I just discovered. The plate comes off so you can rotate it to sit on there however it should be oriented in your PC, which is a cool little feature.
Yeah.
And it's locked in there now. I just really want to get this on. Okay. Tool time. Finger time. Just want to make sure they're all tight, but not ratchet. That's in.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get this all connected and we'll lock it into place right there. Last, but certainly not least, for the GPU, we have an MSI Ventus 3 X5070 Ti GPU. This thing is a beast.
Oh.
Whew, like a glove. All right, I'm gonna turn that. Will you do the honors?
See some RGB.
Oh, already. Sounds promising. Hey! All right. Good job, buddy. Good work. We're gonna get it closed back up, looking pretty, get Windows loaded on there, and then we're gonna run some tests. One other thing that we want to show you, it's a dashboard, yeah?
Yeah, the SanDisk dashboard, so what you can do to monitor your health of the drive.
Jimmy, what are we looking at?
So this is the SanDisk dashboard, so if you go online and you go in your search bar and you say SanDisk support, or you can even say SanDisk dashboard, you'll get to this program. So you can see what I named this drive, how much space do I have available. One thing to really call out here, right, it's saying you're getting Gen 5 speeds. You're hitting Gen 5, so you know you did it right. Everything's installed correctly.
I love when something can just confirm, you did it.
Yeah,
good,
right.
Good job, it's in there.
And then so you can see drive health, current temperature if you want to look at it in Fahrenheit or Celsius. So we have something called game mode. So game mode has 3 different settings: on, off, or auto. So you give it the file paths, and then as soon as you open a game from any of those folders, the drive will go, oh, we're gaming.
We're gaming.
Game mode
Let's
on.
go. That's cool. And that's something that you can only do through this dashboard?
Yeah, only through this dashboard. Windows only, obviously Windows PC, so not a big deal there.
So anyone who's out there using a WD product could benefit from having this?
Yeah. So if you have any of our older products, actually it works on all the SanDisk products. So
Really?
it's only WD Black ones where it will look like this. The other ones, it's a different interface.
Well, awesome. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us today and
Thanks for having me.
helping me get this beautiful PC built. Where can people learn more, keep up with what's going on at WD Black and SanDisk?
Yeah, you can follow WD Black on our Instagram account, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter. But otherwise, if you go to the SanDisk store or just sandisk.com, you'll be able to learn more specifically about this product or any of our other SSDs that we have coming out.
And if you want to win this incredible gaming PC, you're in luck. All you got to do is click the link in the description. You'll be taken to a page where you can see all the ways you can enter to win this incredible gaming PC powered by an AMD 9800 X3D CPU, a 5070 Ti GPU, and of course, that WD Black SN8100 SSD, the fastest SSD on the market today.
I'm Jimmy Gomez.
I'm Ben Tibbles, and this is Newegg.